Morning, good morning, good morning. Say good morning, Hockey. Good morning. Good morning, welcome back to my channel. My name's Lindsay Russell, and my channel here offers you some mobility flows and other resources to help you along your health and fitness journey. This morning I wanted to take you through my top 6 stretching patterns to keep your body open and tension free. So the very first place I want us to start is going to be with some folds. So a fold, the way that I'm describing it, is going to be where we hinge at our hip and fold. I really like to start with the child's pose because this is going to be a great way to get a nice fold in a low effort position. So you want to go ahead and sit on top of your feet with your toes flat against the ground, and we're going to walk our hands forward and fold over our knees. I like to also do part of the child's pose actively, where I take my hands and I pull through the shoulders. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. Let's take 3. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then you can also do this in a passive way where you let your arms just hang and you place your forehead against the mat for a more relaxing child's pose. Whatever feels best for you, but I do recommend doing that active pose to get your shoulders kind of opened up a little bit. You can feel them pull out of the socket a little bit and stretch your lats as well. So that's going to be our first fold. And just to keep the movements in categories, we'll go to a forward fold next. So this is where we'll sit on our bum with our feet out in front of us, and we are going to fold forward from our hip. So it's very common to want to bend at the spine and bend forward. And there's a time and place for that, but right now we're focusing on forward folds. This stretch here is going to stretch our hamstrings. So if you can't reach your toes, that's okay. You can reach for your knees, your ankles, wherever you can go before you feel sharp pain, but far enough where you do feel that stretch in the hamstrings. I'm going to go ahead and grab my toes, keep my chest nice and big, and let's take 5 deep breaths here. With each exhale, I want you to get a little bit further. Relax into it. Last exhale. So if you experience any low back or hip pain, many times, that is going to come from tight hamstrings. We're in a seated position all day, which keeps our hamstrings not at their full range, which can cause them to get tight. So then when you ask them to go to their full range, there's going to be a lot of tension. And what's most important is that you are breathing into that area of your body. And when you breathe out, you have to imagine the tension being released and the muscles stretching, but you also have to be patient and kind with yourself. You cannot force a muscle to stretch. If you do try to force a muscle to stretch, that is where injury comes in. So you have to be patient with yourself and be graceful and breathe into it. So those are 2 of my favorite forward folds. You can also do the forward fold standing. So I guess I'll just show you. But a standing forward fold is great as well. Sometimes when I'm, doing my mobility, I just want to be on the ground. It's a little bit more cozy down here, you know what I mean? Let's go to spinal twists. So I'm gonna show you 3. So we're not gonna spend too much time in each one. You can revisit this video and kind of use what you need to, but I'm gonna show you 3 different spinal twists. This first one is going to be in crisscross position, or you can put one leg in front of the other. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our left hand and press it against our right knee, and our right hand's going to come all the way in the middle of our bum, right by our tailbone, and we're going to keep our chest tall, and we're going to push against our knee and pull towards that hand on the ground, and breathe. And then we're going to switch. We're going to do 3 each side. And turn. Might have felt a couple pops. I can even feel it up in my shoulder blades as well. That's our first seated twist. Going to one that's a little bit more intense, we're going to do our laying spinal twist. So let's just take a couple breaths on each side. You're going to lay flat on your back, take your right leg, bend it to 90 degrees, take your left hand and pull it over down to the ground as far as you can, while keeping that right shoulder also as close to the ground as you can. And you want to look towards your right shoulder, so the opposite direction of the knee. Take a couple breaths. And we can switch. Extend that right leg, left leg to 90 degrees, twist, and look the opposite way. Couple breaths here. I think I took an extra breath, but I needed it. Okay, for our final twisting motion, it's going to be our kneeling twist, and this is going to be probably the most challenging for most people. Due to the location of my mat, this might look a little weird. Let me show you first with the left hand going underneath. I'm going to place that entire left hand all the way up to my shoulder onto the ground. To get comfortable in this position, I'm going to take my right hand and place it out in front of me. And this is already the start to the twist. Now to take it one step further, I'm going to place the side of my head down on the mat. I'm going to take that arm that's extended out in front of me, and I'm going to wrap it around and try and tuck it on my left thigh. And I'm going to try to open up that right shoulder and look up. Okay, let's see it from the other side. Right hand goes under, I lay the entire arm on the ground, and I can pull my left hand up and get used to the twist here. I'll feel my shoulders start to open up a bit. I'm noticing how dirty my mat is from being outside all the time. And then we're gonna wrap it around and tuck it onto our right thigh and open up this left shoulder and look up. Hopefully the breathing isn't too loud in this mic. And there we go. 3 different twists. We have 3 different forward folds. Now next, I want to go into, let's do hip rotation, and then we'll do hip flexion and extension. So hip rotation, we're going to have a couple different options as well. So first, Take a sip. The easiest for our hip rotation is going to be the 90-90 rotations here. So you put your feet out in front of you, and when they come down, they should be both at 90 degrees. When you go ahead and pull your right leg to the right side, you want to go as far as you can. This is testing your external rotation. And then bring that left leg followed behind. This one is doing internal rotation. Do a couple of these. This is a great one to start with because it is a little bit lower impact, less weight on the hips while we're rotating them. All right. Now to step this up a notch, we can go into the seated squat. So from here, you'll just bring it down and back up. And we want to be pressing actively as wide as we can on the way out. Down and up. Down and up. Down. Don't forget to breathe. And up. Okay? One other really amazing rotational movement we can do is crescent kicks. I'm going to just show you with my left side because this wall here, when you do these, you want to make sure you do both legs in both directions. So you'll point your leg up, come all the way down to the side, swoop it all the way down in front of you, and come back up. And you want to do, I usually do 3 to 5, each leg, each direction. So you're doing 10 each leg total. 3 that direction, and now I'm going to go to the side, come up, go down to extend it. To the side, come up, go down to extend it. One more. I have to do my right leg. I can't not do the right leg. I have to be even. This leg's a little bit tight. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, 3 rotational hip movements for you. Now we're going to go to our last set of movements that I can show you, and then I will explain the final and one of the most important mobility movements for you guys, and I'll probably enter a clip from the gym because I don't have any way to do it here. Anyways, hip flexion and extension. I like to practice these together because they're opposites. So hip flexion is when you're bringing your knee up. This is the hip in flexion. Hip extension is when your leg is going back behind you. So you might have seen a fly. If you are practicing these both at the same time, you're working the hips in different ways. Really great for running. And then a lot of these movements here will be great for learning your splits eventually. So the easiest one I like to do is a kneeling forward lunge. So you place your foot directly below your knee. I'm leaning into it and I am stretching right here because I'm pulling this hip forward and pulling this hip backwards. So my hips are squared and I'm getting both of those movement patterns engaged here. I'm getting both hips engaged. I'm strengthening right now in hip flexion and stretching right now in extension. So you'd want to take a couple breaths here. Okay. And then on the back end, I like to do a little forward fold sometimes, but we already did some forward folds, so just keep that in mind. You can always do that. Other leg, directly stacked, pushing forward, pulling hips to be squared underneath me. Now, a little bit more of an advanced move. There are a couple different modifications for this. So it's going to be pigeon. So it's easy to start seated kind of in this like 90-90 seat. And we're going to pull our right leg up here, and you want to try and get her to 90. If you can't get her to 90 as you pop on over, that's okay. Your pigeon pose might look more like this for now, but you do want to kind of try and work that foot up to 90 for optimal stretching here. Extension is being worked here. Flexion is being worked here. Okay, I'm going to do this one this direction so you can kind of see what it looks like from behind. And it's okay if your legs are a little bit different. This leg definitely cannot get as close to 90. All right, last one, you'll need a yoga block of some sort, and you're gonna put it up against the wall. This is definitely the most challenging. So you're gonna wanna get your knee and full leg pressed up against the side, and then you're going to get into a lunged position like so. Again, this is really going to test that hip flexor in its extended state here. And then you can work your foot more and more forward as well. These are really great for splits practice. Okay, and then switch to the other side. And a few deep breaths. You can also add weights to this as you progress. All right, so we've done 3 forward folds, we've done 3 twists, we did 3, I believe we did 3, we did 3 hip rotational exercises, and we did 3 hip flexion, hip extension exercises, so the hip flexor. The last movement I want you guys to do as often as you can is a hang, a dead hang. This is where you just grab a bar with your hands extended over your head, and you allow your body to just decompress. You relax the shoulders, you relax your glutes, you relax everything to just hang. I will place a video on top of here so you guys can see it, and as much as you can, if there's a park nearby, I want you to go hang on the monkey bar for 2 minutes. When you go to the gym before your workouts, I want you to hang on the monkey bars or the pull-up bars or the Smith machine for a minute or 2. Whatever you can do to decompress the spine. It is sometimes common to feel a little bit of pain in your low back when you first start to do dead hangs. This is great. This means your spine needed the decompression. Just don't push it too hard. So as soon as you start to feel that, give it a second to hurt, maybe up to 5 seconds to be uncomfortable, but then lightly jump down and try to do it again. You don't want to push it too far too fast, as always, but you do want to lean into the discomfort for a couple seconds at a time in order to progress forward. So if you are feeling a little bit of pain, that's okay. Also, it can be really difficult for some people to grip the bar and hold their body weight up. So if you can't do a minute all at once, try and work up to a minute total when you are doing them. So if you need to do 20 seconds at a time 3 times, that's great. You're getting a minute of time hanging and decompressing your spine. So add dead hangs into your routine. I hope you guys found this helpful and have a better awareness on what movement patterns to work into your routine. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if this video is helpful so you don't miss out on the next one, and share it to a friend who might need it too. Thanks for coming. Bye.